Penn State Bama memories in just a few seconds. But first, we'd like to take a moment to thank Drew Kyle and Kyle Office Solutions for their support of Crimson Tide Kickoff. They provided us this beautiful set that you see here, and we like it a lot. So remember Kyle Office Solutions for all your business and office needs. Again, that's Kyle Office Solutions. John?
All right, Gary. Well, when Alabama and Penn State have met on the football field over the years, they have provided some great theater and some memorable moments. WVUA's Alex Cordry talks to the men who were there for the series' most memorable moments.
Alabama and Penn State are two of the winningest programs in college football history. It's been 20 years since Coach Joe Paterno and his Nittany Lions have stepped under the lights at Bryant-Denny Stadium. What makes that rivalry so huge between Alabama and Penn State?
The programs kind of mirror themselves in one way. It's just you have a northern type of ball and you have a southern style. But when we played them, it was always one of the hardest hitting games of the year, period.
The legendary coaches that have walked the sidelines in Alabama's past, and of course, Paterno is still walking the sidelines.
When you've got those two schools coming at one another, both believing that they can win, both of them not scared, both of them going to lay it on the line, it always winds up being a great football game.
In Sugar Bowl 1979, number 1 undefeated Penn State faced off number 2 Alabama for the national championship. In the middle of the fourth quarter, Penn State was 4th and goal inside the Alabama 1-yard line. Tailback Mike Gooman was leveled by linebacker Barry Krause for no gain, leading the Crimson Tide to a 14-7 victory, and has gone down as one of the biggest tackles in college football history, known as the goal line stand. Many people don't realize what Krause sacrificed to hold that line.
I had a chronic pinched nerve in my neck, so whenever I hit somebody with my head, there were numerous times, like 2 to 3 times a game, I'd get total paralysis in my left arm. So when I hit him, I basically just went, and it's an extreme pain for about 20, 30 seconds that I have to endure. And so when I hit him, I pinched the nerve. I went total paralysis in my left arm. And Murray Legg, the defensive back, came running up, and he actually pushed us back over.
2 years later at Beaver Stadium, Alabama's defense stopped the run and held Penn State. Coach Paul Bryant tipped his hat to them for their remarkable performance.
And they actually had the ball, I believe, 7 times. 4 of those times from the 5 or better, and we held them on all 7 times, kept them out the end zone. And we were just excited about doing that because that was a feat in itself, doing that on the road in their home stadium. And then as we were coming off the field, to have Coach Bryant, tip his hat at you as to say, a job well done, it still brings chill bumps to me.
Suffering a tough loss to Penn State the year before and known as the underdog in the upcoming game, the Tide didn't let it stop them from winning. What was the game plan going in to play Penn State?
In an '87 game, we had Bobby Humphrey, who was an All-American tailback, and really just wanted to pound them, which we did to most teams that we played. It was kind of the old smash mouth. You didn't have that spread where you're trying to throw the ball, 20, 30 times a game. And we, in '87, Bobby Humphrey had a tremendous game. I remember it being a rainy field at Penn State, and he had a tremendous day, and that's the way we were able to beat him. We just ran the ball right at him and said, if you can stop us, do it, and if you can't, then we're going to win.
1989 marked another monumental battle between the two great teams. Coach Joe Paterno opted to go for the field goal in hopes for a win. Instead, Alabama's linebackers burst through Penn State's line and blocked the Nittany Lions' final field goal attempt, preserving a 17-16 victory.
At the end of the first half, it's a bittersweet memory. We had the ball, called timeout right on the 1-yard line, and they gave me the ball, and for the first time in my college career, I was stalemated. We didn't score at the end of the half, and of course people say fast forward to the end of that game, and Paterno is just going for a field goal versus going for a touchdown, which on that drive of that day, it's hard to believe they had ran the ball all the way down the field. And I think the running back name was Blair Thomas. He trips and falls, actually. We don't actually tackle him, and then they line up to kick a field goal.
Penn State was 2 yards away from the end zone. It's a 19-yard field goal. Did you imagine Alabama blocking that kick?
At that point, we're like, man, our season, our undefeated season at that point is going to be over. We're thinking, and of course the legend is that once again the bear ghost haunted Paterno and cause him to go for it. Because it was, I mean, like I said, I think they could have scored if they ran it, but they decided to go for it. We block it, we win the game, and it's a great victory.
The last time Alabama and Penn State met was in 1990. Penn State won 9-0 and was the Nittany Lions' only shutout over the Tide.
We actually made a few more mistakes and put them in a situation where they were able to kick 3 field goals, and we made some mistakes and dropped some balls and some different things that didn't allow us to score. And it was a very disappointing, very tough, very hard to take a defeat.
Alabama and Penn State have played some epic football games. This Saturday, over 101,000 fans will be in Bryant-Denny Stadium cheering on the Crimson Tide and welcoming back legendary Penn State coach Joe Paterno. After 20 years in waiting, it will be a game full of history, tradition, and pride. Reporting in Tuscaloosa for WVUA Sports, I'm Alex Cordry.
Thank you, Alex. Coming up, Northport Mayor Bobby Herndon is our guest prognosticator this week. And as we go to break, let's take a look at folks out at the Bear Bryant statue. Coach Bryant celebrating a birthday today. He would have been 97 years old if he were still alive. And in the hearts and minds of Alabama fans, he will always live. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, how did Penn State come up with its mascot? Penn State has been the Nittany Lions since 1907. It refers to the mountain lions that once roamed near the school and to Mount Nittany, a local landmark. The Lions' primary means of attack is its strong right arm, capable of slaying many foes. So if you see the Penn State cheerleaders or fans doing a one-arm push-up after a touchdown, that's why. Well, time now to make some bold predictions. This week, John asked a local politician to look into his football crystal ball.
And it is time for our guest prognosticator segment. This week, we are joined by the mayor of Northport, Bobby Herndon. Mayor, thank you very much for being on. How are things in Northport before we get started?
Well, things are going pretty good. Everybody's excited about this weekend, Alabama, Penn State, and I've seen a lot of Penn State fans going through Northport today, so it's getting exciting.
Well, last week we had the guys from the Northport Barbershop on, and they did pretty well. I think they only missed about one of them. You think you can hold a candle to them?
Well, I tell you, they're professionals,
right.
But I'll do my best.
All right. Well, let's get started here. First game, number 22 Georgia at number 24 South Carolina. How do you see this one?
Well, I'm going to go with the home team, South Carolina. I know that Mark Rick, I think, is on a hot seat this year, and I think it might even get a little bit hotter for him.
And plus, Georgia's playing without their star receiver, A.J. Green, this week. All right, number 19, LSU at Vanderbilt. LSU, we also the game last week against North Carolina. Struggled there at the end, almost gave it away. How do you see this one?
I don't see it being a struggle at all. I think LSU will whoop them pretty good.
Number 7, Oregon at Tennessee. Something very unusual. Tennessee, almost a 2-touchdown underdog in this game in Knoxville.
Well, I wish the new coach all the luck up there, but I don't think it's going to be a very happy Rocky Top up there at all.
Can't hold a candle to Oregon this week. All right, the big game here in Tuscaloosa. Number 18 Penn State coming in here, ready to play the number 1 Crimson Tide. What do you think? I see your shirt, but can you pick Alabama?
Well, I'm not prejudiced at all. I love Coach Joe Paterno. I love the Penn State fans. I believe Alabama's speed, the defense will get them. I say Alabama by 12 points.
Alabama by 12 points. You heard it here first from the Northport Mayor, Bobby Herndon. Mayor, thank you very much for coming by.
My pleasure.
Welcome back. Let's show you the kickoff forecast quickly. It's going to be a hot one for us, and thunderstorms are likely. 89 at kickoff, halftime temperature 85 degrees. We could use the rain to cool us off, but not the lightning. Thunderstorms likely through the ending of the game.
All right, Richard, thank you very much, and thank you for watching Crimson Tide Kickoff.
More Alabama to come right after this program. We've got Hey Coach with Nick Saban. At 10 o'clock, we've got Crimson Cover. At 10:30, we've got Crimson Tide This Week. And at 11 a.m., one of my favorites, Crimson Classic.
Yeah, because you're on it.
Why not?
Yeah. See you next week, folks.